Hey, how you guys doing? It's the producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Who Dey Over 40 podcast for long-time, long-suffering Cincinnati Bengals fans. Today is another long sufferer, y'all. The Bengals lose to the Browns, what was it, 34-31? 37-34.
Yeah.
37-34. Literally in the last 11 seconds as they let the Browns go down the field. But
we lost.
On the line tonight, I have my two favorite offensive weapons, and they'll probably be a little offensive tonight. So watch the language. On the line up next to me in the flanker position is the Sandman. Sandman, say what's happening. I think we lost the Sandman.
Yeah, we lost everybody else. Why not?
Yeah, everybody went out. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sandman, and then you went out.
Okay.
That's the view. That's the view of our team. Wow. Yeah, that's the view of our team after a couple of quality hits.
Man, also lined up behind me in
amazing
the position, 2 yards in the cloud. That's this Big Hutch. What's going on?
It's great. Less feeling.
Exactly. All right, so here we go. We'll set the show. We got 4 quarters today. First quarter, we're going to talk about why we weren't here last week if you were looking for us. Second quarter, we're going to talk about Mutiny on the Bounty. That's showing our age, making that reference, by the way.
They'll do a remake.
We'll talk at halftime. We'll talk about the Buckeyes coming back and winning last night. Third quarter, we'll recap the Browns game, and in the fourth quarter, we could clearly, if nothing else, talk about holy crap, we have a real legitimate quarterback. Like, that's not in dispute, and now we have to fix this team to make sure that we don't waste his time, years, or whatever. So anyway. And then after that, we'll swing into the tunnel and look around the AFC North and whatever, blah, 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 blah. All right. So first up, we weren't here last week. And if you listened to the recap podcast after the game before that, which was, I guess, against the Ravens, I think my remark was, if you think I'm going to be here every week doing this shit when they lose, you got another thing coming. So the Colts game last week, the Bengals jump out to a 21-0 lead. Hey, man, doing good. The Colts woke up, or they're like, hey, we can't lose to the Bengals.
We went to sleep.
Yeah, even with COVID, we can't lose to this team. And then they come back and they lose. And I made, as the producer of this freaking podcast and show, I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. So, Hutch, what the hell, man? 21-0 defense.
I felt good about the game. I said before the game started, we were going to win. The Colts are overrated. I mean, they're hurt. Their best defensive player was out.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? Up 21-0.
Yeah.
I found the brown sauce. The brown drinking sauce. I'm like, hey, there's no way we can lose this game. And 31-6 later, we figured out a way.
Yeah, it's really becoming we're at a trend now, not even like, something. Now it's a trend, whereas the Bengals defense is doing their best Atlanta Falcon impression in second halves of football games now, where no lead is safe. And if you put them back out on the field in a competitive situation where it's a possibility that they'll lose, they will lose. Back to that here, momentarily. Again, last week the Bengals looked great in the first half. Offensively, defensively, they were making stops, turnovers. I'm like, okay, maybe they finally turned the corner here against a good team. But then as the first half started to wind down, we get the inevitable score right before halftime by the Colts, 17 or 21-17 at the half at that point. And then, it was just the rats fled.
Waiting for the inevitable.
Now Bengals.
Yep. You were just waiting. You saw it happening. And, we've gotten to this thing where, like, we're trying to put everything on the offense. And again, whereas they are scoring points, don't get me wrong, the problem is that no lead is safe, Sandman. There's no safe lead. You can't trust the defense with anything. He's froze face.
Yeah, that's how he feels about.
They were driving to go ahead. Burrow.
Yeah, your audio's messing up, Chief.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and take his spot.
Yes, there is no safe lead. The most of the devils that have plagued this team for years, no matter who's putting on a uniform, to keep showing up. We keep giving up big plays. We keep giving up plays before halftime. We keep losing leads at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We make stupid decisions, just dumb personal fouls and just dumb shit. Oh, we can't get close to the quarterback on defense.
Yeah, they had COVID. Well, when we did today, where it really would have mattered, somebody didn't finish the drill. We'll get to that in a little bit too. So yeah, it just after that, after the big lead and the loss, I'm not doing this. Like I just cannot invest that kind of emotional bandwidth with the Bengals today. Like I just can't do it. And so I let it go. I didn't read anything during the week. No, no Bengals.com, no GoBengals.com, none of that stuff. I just let it all go. And coming into this game, I hate the Browns, Hutch. Like, I don't know if you hate them as much as you hate the Steelers, but I can't stand the fucking Browns.
You know what? I'm as a resident of Ohio these days, I would like to see some game on Sunday matter. Just damn. It's just it's awful that the birthplace of the NFL is Ohio, and between the two teams, we might not get shit. We might not. We'd be lucky to win 8 games between two teams, and we give 2 to each other.
And they're 2 of their 5 wins are against the Bengals. And when they played a team that was any good last week against the Browns, they made Baker Mayfield tap out. And then when they played the Ravens in week 1, they they got beat up there too. So they haven't beaten anybody. If you want to call the Colts a good team, which is probably doubtful. They haven't beaten anybody. And so, they're doing what, the Steelers have done for years, beat up on the weak sisters. It's just that the Browns aren't the weakest sister anymore. They're still weak, but they're not as weak as the Bengals at this point. And that's just like the disappointing part. So, yeah.
It's us.
Hey, man. Yeah, we're going to do this today. We'll see what happens next week because we'll talk about it in the halftime tunnel because next week's game is looking like another big fat L. And man, it's 83 and sunny in South Florida today. I can't keep doing this. All right. So anyway, that's the first quarter. That's why we weren't here. Let's get into the second quarter. Before we even get to the game, the Bengals stories really this week has been a house divided. Whereas employee 96, as he is now known, Carlos Dunlap has been
rebelling.
Yes, vocal, at least in his Twitter voice, with Twitter fingers and Instagram fingers. He's been very, very vocal in, how he's not liking his new role, posting the freaking the depth chart like on Instagram about who's going to play and all these types of things. He's following the, hey, trade me or get me the hell out of here playbook. Sam, are you back with us? Just froze screen again. Man, your new place don't got good internet. Yeah, you're still.
It might be the 2 of y'all on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been there.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know.
It's fine. We can hear you now. Just there's no audio or no video. So yeah. More things, Sandman.
No video? God damn.
Yeah, you just froze face. You can hear me though. So more you're on social media than Hachi is, obviously. Have you done all this stuff with Carlos, leading up to this game?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they got into a fight on the sidelines at the end of the game. Did y'all see that crap?
Yeah, at the end of the game. I don't know if that was him and Darius Phillips or whatever, but I think that's just part of the whole, get me out of here situation. Let me just go ahead and throw a fit. I can't do anything if we win, but if I lose, then I get a little bit of a hissy fit.
Yeah, Carlos got some nerve though, in a way though, because he kind of shows up when he wants to, and that ain't often sometimes. You know what I mean? That was the knock on him coming out of Florida when they drafted him in the second round, that he takes plays off. Well, now he's taking a whole lot of plays off, man. And now he bitching because he can't start because he ain't getting nothing done.
He can't start on the Bengals. You got a problem.
Right.
There's some Division III teams you can't start on if you can't.
Yeah.
Bengals. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, he's playing a little bit of a hypocrite now. We have to end, I think, with Carlos. It's him and Gino. Gino is supposedly healthy now. He ain't playing. Carlos is I don't know what the status is. They don't want him to play.
Playing.
He's available to play
well.
He on the field.
Not playing well.
He on the field. How about that?
Well, you know what? Like you said earlier, one on the text chain, was the last superstar or star level Bengal player that left on good terms. It just doesn't happen. No.
We talked about that before today. It was like, Bengals, the Brown family in the last 30 years, when there's a star player, it never ends well. It's not even like, oh, he's gonna retire here or anything like that. It's like, hey, I got a couple of years left, but maybe not, and I'm out, and they just do all these things from Corey Dillon to not AJ Green, but eventually here AJ Green to Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh. I mean, it just doesn't end well. It ends in some bad. Carson Palmer, it just ends in some bad way, and I think that's just how the organization is run. It's more like,
badly.
Hey,
except for Corey Dillon, I think we might have I think we did pretty good or getting rid of them bums.
Whitworth was bad.
Whitworth.
Willie Anderson,
maybe.
Willie Anderson too.
Yeah.
Willie Anderson could play
they
too.
Might have
won the Super Bowl
for a couple more years.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 linemen notwithstanding.
But I mean,
more often than not.
TKO played well too once he left. He went to a couple of Pro Bowls with more than
the
Pro Bowls with the Bills. So yeah,
sure.
So I don't know. Look, y'all know me. Players get that money. Carlos got his money. Okay, so you got your money. You gotta at least perform close to the level of your contract, and he's not doing that at this point.
But it's not like we ain't getting opportunities. He just getting old.
He doesn't produce. Produce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, it's not like they have it. And again, we'll get to the game today in the second half.
But it's like, hey, at the end of the rest of his soul, Kobe was like, shit, I suck now. And he knew it.
Right, yeah.
And he was but he was still taking him a big check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Carlos
Dunlap, you suck. I mean, believe me, I wish you didn't suck, but when
we all do.
But when fucking
especially
the team that we just played got that dude was only hit once, I think, in the backfield.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, no sacks. And that, again, that's no sacks in the last 2 weeks for the Bengals. Not one sack.
And it's still 11 on 11.
And that was the play at the end of the game or in the last Browns drive. The first play of the last Browns drive with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go, and somebody had him right by the wrist or the ankle's waist and didn't get him down.
The leg.
In the pass for like 15 yards.
Yeah, right. He still threw it for like 15 yards. Yeah.
Yep. And so I'm like, that's a game changer. That is. It would have been a game changer. That, all those dudes are down the field, 20 seconds off the clock. You win. You probably win the game with just one sack.
Well, you know what the game changer is really? The game changer, just like the Falcons are experiencing, and now we're experiencing. We can still beat these guys. We could be down 21-0. We could do what we could be down to these dudes, and we still got hopes that we could come back and beat the Bengals.
Yeah.
And
there is no fear of the Bengals whatsoever. Yeah. Nobody respects them. Outside of maybe Joe Burrow now. That's about it.
On a very small scale note of that, we played tennis or whatever. And when we played that very suburban rich school that ends in Ville, one of the times we were in high school, I played and I was up 4-1 in the third and wound up losing 6-4. And then on the return, and on the return back where, we played the home and home back at Walnut Hills or whatever, man, I got up 4-1 in the third, and this was my knees. I was like, I'm about to lose again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm doing that on some low-level freaking city tennis squad, you know that thought creeps into the heads of some multimillionaire athletes. So, like, I don't think that, you getting over that mental block, getting over 112-1 now in one score games. I mean, this is it's not a freaking anomaly. This is who they are. And as I was explaining to my son earlier, we are in this situation now where we went from a coach that could get you to the playoffs, but couldn't win you a playoff game. Now we got into a coach who gets you to the almost winning and can't win the games. It's just like Andy Reid used to be able to get you to the damn NFC Championship game and not to the Super Bowl. Like you're stuck in this weird freaking circle jerk that you figure out what's going to happen. And like we know what's going to happen. Like I said to my son, whoever has the ball last is going to win the game. That was it. I said that in the third quarter. I mean, whoever, because they can't stop them, we can't stop them. That's it. And it's whoever's got it. I mean, and that, again,
we can stop ourselves.
That's if you want to say that that's them being competitive, okay. If you're okay with that, but I'm not okay with it. Not at all. And no, we are. I mean, we're just stuck. Like it's going to be hard, as we've been talking about, saying, man, they put up 34 points today. You got a freaking a potential game-changing quarterback here. We put up 34 points, but we gave up 37. No, we can't fire.
Exactly. Bullshit. Yeah. Something's got to change. I mean, they have a staggering lack of talent on this defense. You got bums off the street starting, not just playing, starting for you right now. And you got Marvin era guys that on their way out and they still want to start and not produce. That's a fucking catastrophe on its own. And you got it's a mess right now. Money too. And big money. And money. I mean, they love Gino. They love Carlos, and now they both
love Gino. I love Carlos.
Yeah, well, I love Gino. Carlos irritates me with his not showing up sometimes. He's been doing that for a long time. But before, he could not get no sacks in like 5 straight games, and then all of a sudden have 12 sacks in the rest of the year. So he could backload it if you want,
He has Hall of Fame measurables.
Something like that, but not at all.
Now he has Hall of Fame measurables, but freaking Division II work ethic. Like I think that's basically what.
That's a slap in Division II.
He's a good dude. He's done great things in the community there. But I mean, this has been his knock, since he came into the league. So
they had him nailed in college, and it was exactly who he is.
Yeah, Pudge, tell me what you think about this. And I was talking to your nephew about this too. Because I don't know if it's necessarily a lack of talent. It could be some of that. Don't get me wrong. But I think, I hate to bring them up. The Steelers rotate dudes into a system that when they leave that system, they suck. Like when they leave that system, they go like, somebody, pick anybody. Like, Chad Brown signs his big free agent contract with Seattle after he leaves the Steelers.
And he sucked.
Even on offense, it's the same thing. I think scheme is so much more important, or finding people to fit your scheme. I mean, talent is obviously important, but some of them dudes that's on the Steelers, if they weren't on the Steelers, they wouldn't be any good. They would suck because they know the scheme.
You know what it is? It's another thing that the Steelers do that we don't, is that we don't hold our players accountable.
That's very true. That is very true.
That's the kick in the whatevers. If you fuck up on the Steelers, you're gonna catch it, and your ass might get thrown off the team.
Yeah,
people want to play for the Steelers, though.
Right.
And I think that starts from the players first. Like where they give you a code red when you mess up, but an organization they're not going to allow that. And,
it's both. When your ass fuck up for the Steelers, your ass is gonna hear from Bettis. You gonna hear about it from you gonna catch it from Harry Scary. You gonna catch from all the mofos, and your ass.
All these guys are. Yeah, and all those guys are stars too. On the Bengals, you got some bums you ain't heard of. Like, man, get out of my face. You ain't nobody. Shut up.
But that goes back to again about the organizational shift. It's like, why isn't Willie Anderson brought back to whatever with the team, or Chad, or those types of players that build up this kind of sense of fraternity about the former players on the team?
They in the grand scheme of things, they ain't done shit.
But
the front office, they had, yeah. The front office they don't invite people back. Like people,
they don't want to come back.
Willie Anderson wants to actually come back. Yeah, that's
right. It's like it's like going like your high school reunion. You don't want to come back to that shit.
Nobody wants to go.
What the fuck?
And on the high school level, that's very true, by the way.
Right.
But it's also true for the damn Bengals.
Oh, it's Mr. Weatherby Brown. Yeah, I want to see his fat ass again.
Not Mr. Weatherby, sir.
They are a bad organization. They do not spend any money outside of what they absolutely have to do, and it shows in every applicable way.
We don't even have a ring. We don't even have a ring of fame, right?
Ring of honor.
Ring of honor, ring of fame. No. I mean, what the fuck?
No.
Everybody,
stuff
high
like
school
that.
teams have a ring of honor and a ring of fame.
Yeah, how are they running people out there with Anthony Munoz's numbers still? Like, how does that even happen? Like, you got your one Hall of Fame.
I was wondering that today. Do they really bring people back out there with 78 on?
I see some people with 78 on during homecoming, during preseason games for sure.
He is literally their only Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Unbelievable,
right,
man.
Anyway, so I just they are what they are. The mutiny, it seems like there could be some trades. Allegedly, we're thinking about Dunlap wasn't even going to be active for this game, that he was going to get traded. Possibly Geno as well. Allegedly, the Bengals are more open to trading this year than they were last season. Hutch,
you want to talk about that?
Hand raised
pick for his sorry ass.
Second and double it or triple it. But
ain't nobody trade for these bums.
I disagree with that. I disagree because Hutch, they don't have to pay their full salary at this point. They're only going to have to pay like probably half of it at the break. So yeah, you'll take it on there, and then you probably just cut him. The accelerated.
Who wants AJ Green at $9 million?
But that'll again. Biggest hit for the Bengals for their salary for the signing bonus. They're only responsible for that portion of the contract up to the end of the season. After that, they can cut.
Who wants Geno? Only teams that would trade for somebody like these guys, A, if they're producing,
Geno could be a backup,
and B, if you were headed toward the playoffs.
Backup, come on, man.
Right, you're not right. These dudes
he ain't going to be no starter anywhere else.
Right.
Obviously.
The only reason Dalton even saw the field is because old boy's fucking ankle is still on the ground in Dallas.
True. Real quick. That is a line step. Yeah. Real quick. This is gonna, and it'll come up later in the thing. I'm gonna need the Bengals to not be drafting. What do those say? A lead by example dudes. How the hell? A damn Hall of Famer, borderline point, because he hasn't done anything this year, that doesn't grab somebody by the freaking throat and be like, look, make a freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like a Hall of Fame player. You don't grab somebody by the neck, you're going to make a, you know what I mean? Like, don't be like, I don't talk to the media, I don't do anything. I need somebody with some vocals to go out there and say something, especially on defense. We got no dogs on defense. We got 0 dogs on defense, where we used to have. Now again, come with the dogs, come some stuff with Pac-Man and Tez that came with some other stuff.
That's a two-way street.
Yeah, but
that's a two-way street. You know what happened when we had them dogs? They lost us some. Well, they were the playoff team, but they lost that playoff because of it.
If non-suspended in shape Tez or Adam Jones is on that field, they not scoring that many points. This is not going to happen because they would have done something. So whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. I hate that I let the Bengals back into my life.
But you're talking about shit 5, 6 years ago now. So
yeah, no, I'm not. No, I agree.
I believe me. We've been right.
That was the last time they were relevant.
Well,
that was
here's
the last time
another
they were
thing
relevant.
too. Defenses, for the most part, in college and pro now are, I mean, the offenses are out scheming the defense these days.
Yeah, no, bro. You scored 30. You scored 30.
Offense is always a step ahead.
Again, this is as much as I hate to say it because it's gonna probably wind up extending this nigga's career here. The offense isn't really the problem. Yes, the offensive line is bad, but Burrow he's overcome it. Like that's the craziest.
He can overcome
that part.
To a point.
To a point, right?
Yeah,
until
to a point.
You see a team like the Steelers or the Ravens.
Yeah, but he's also playing his 7th game in the freaking NFL. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like his trajectory isn't like, oh, it's gonna stop here and then it's gonna go down. Like that's not where we are with that dude. Like not at all. With a full off season of blah 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 blah. That's not gonna happen. You know that. And I was earlier today too. I was not a huge fan of this T. Higgins pick. Let's get some crow. Let me eat that too. I wasn't a fan of that pick. Yeah, I was wrong. That dude can play. All right. Anyway,
I think his ceiling is a lot higher.
His ceiling is very high.
Kind of nice.
His ceiling is freaking Hopkins, and that's freaking scary. So
yeah.
Let's get into halftime.
That's pretty good.
Well, unfortunately, here's the thing. This is what's going to derail Burrow. Burrow has what? Now we're at 26, 27 sacks.
He only got sacked once today.
I saw 4 sacks.
But he only got.
No, I thought I was like 4 times.
Oh,
yeah,
he did?
4 times. I heard.
Yeah.
Well, that's too many.
Well, that's a win.
That's too many.
All right, let me refresh before even happen.
Anyway, yeah, he can't. Right, we got what 6 games, 7 games into the season. He's damn near at 30 sacks.
What's the record? 70 something.
What's
the record's
that?
like 75.
I thought the record was 40 something.
No, the record's like in the 60s or 70s.
No, that's crazy.
Really?
I said 50 sacks.
I thought the old boy with the
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, I said he's gonna take about 50 sacks, and I got laughed off the stage.
Yeah. Well, surprise. All right. All right. So let's do this then. Let's get into halftime on a more happier topic, even though it wasn't that happy up to halftime. Big Ten football is back. Ohio State plays yesterday against Nebraska. No.
Nebraska.
Yeah, it was Nebraska.
Nebraska, who was talking, Scott Frost, who was talking shit about we need to come out here and, we need to play because these kids need to do this. Okay, well, you just got dog walked for 52 points. And on purpose too, because they scored really late in that game where they didn't.
They scored right.
They didn't throw it.
This is what you wanted.
They still ran it in.
And they got the hardest schedule too.
Yeah, so
they got their schedule was the beast.
Yeah, so Scott Frost should have stayed at UCF. I don't know what the hell he was thinking going back to Nebraska. Them days.
Yeah, he should have stayed here,
over, sir. Yeah, long over. You ain't getting no players to go to freaking Nebraska anymore, man. It's just not gonna happen. You can get them to go to UCF.
Not in this day and age.
Yeah, or Orlando, freaking Disney, Universal, hot girls. You can get that, but you ain't getting nobody to go to Nebraska. For what? So, we're getting some sort of update.
No.
Carlos Dunlap, 6,000 square foot city view with huge balcony, 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, and one of the best school districts for sale. Do your market analysis and make me an offer. Serious inquiries only. Owner is willing to sell furnished or unfurnished.
Damn.
No way. Get rid
of it. This is awful. This is
he ain't even trying to hide it, man. That is unbelievable.
This is bad.
You can't hide anything in the 21st century, yo.
Yeah, no. He's not trying to hide it. I mean, that's not even the issue.
No, he is.
Right.
Yeah, he's throwing it in their face every
get me out of here playbook is like on for sure, man. He's doing the Bobby Brown out of New Edition at this point.
Well, guess what? I mean, anybody wants him, come get him.
Yeah.
He wasn't starting damn sure.
I'll take a 4. I'll take a 4 for Carlos Dunlap.
They can get none for him.
Fourth
especially it's showing out like it's now.
Yeah, I'd take a fourth.
Oh, hell yeah, you would take it.
We'll
Ain't nobody
take
giving it to
anything
you.
because we ain't gonna get shit.
Hell yeah. I would take.
All right.
I would
I'll
take
take
a
2 sevens. Shit.
Shit. You ain't getting shit.
We ain't getting nothing.
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 You ain't getting nothing.
So the Buckeyes win. They have a game next week against Penn State at Penn State. Penn State got robbed yesterday at Indiana on that 2-point conversion. That dude was nowhere near the end zone. I don't even know.
The ball hit the pile line.
His knee was down like a mug, sir. His knee was Colin Kaepernick down. He was nowhere near that freaking end zone, man.
That's the way shit goes sometimes. You shouldn't be in a game that close with Indiana.
Exactly. You shouldn't be playing that close with Indiana.
Right. So when you fuck up, shit fucks up.
Hey,
and all that did
when you on the road,
that fucked up Penn State.
When you on the road like that,
fucked up Ohio State. That fucked up the whole Big Ten.
Yeah. But I mean, you got
that home cooking, man. You can't let the score be close like that. Home cooking will lose you a game on the road. I'm sorry.
Buckeyes are really in a situation where
they ain't got no business letting Indiana be that close.
Buckeyes are really in a situation where they're obviously, they haven't played obviously in a while. A lot of their players are playing today because they drafted so many people into the league last year. They're just where they are.
I'll start grouping.
They're good but young. And to me, I don't think they're a championship team this year. Like they're just too young, even though they have like a veteran quarterback. I'm gonna throw this out to y'all. I said this to my son yesterday. If I'm Justin Fields and I look at the NFL rankings on Sunday and it's just like, Jets? Jacksonville. You know what? Let me go ahead and get me some freaking pizza in Columbus and I'm gonna just stay for another year. Because he'll have a better opportunity next year and a championship team. He is from Kennesaw, Georgia. Chances are that the high school he went to there, his parents aren't hurting for money. So does he come back for that next year, either to want to be the number one pick or just to avoid being picked by any of those teams? Go ahead, Hunch.
I'm gonna say the opposite or something close to it. I think if Ohio State loses one game during this whatever, his ass gonna be like, I quit. I'm gonna start doing for the draft. And whoever, Jets, Falcons, whoever, I'm about this piece.
Like that.
He ain't gonna do that. That would mark him forever.
Mark him as smart.
Especially since he fought so hard to want to play this year. It's like I can't see that happening.
He only wants to play if they could go to the whatever. If they lose to Penn State, I'm guessing for the most part that shit is over.
If he don't take a snap this year, he's still a top 5 pick. Not a snap. So he had no need to come back and play this year. He's a top 5 pick without taking a snap. So,
right. I'm right. But he's also, if you get hurt, your ass ain't a top 5 pick.
No, I agree.
He playing for nothing. Your ass ain't a top 5 pick.
No, he has to get his Lloyd's of London on for sure. He has to get his insurance.
We ain't talking about the Bengals offensive line. We talking about Ohio State's offensive line. Yeah. I mean, there's a difference right now.
They are literally a year away.
They can actually block
with him. They're a year away. They would be the overwhelming favorite if he came back in 21-22.
Because Lawrence is leaving.
Yeah, because Trevor Lawrence is leaving. Although Trevor Lawrence might be looking at that list too, like Jacksonville. Whatever. His parents is also from some nice area in Atlanta too. Like, you know what? I'm straight too. I don't think I need any hassles as well.
They ain't doing that.
I'm taking the money and running. I mean, if you work it right, somebody, if you be like, you tell the Jets and whoever, like, oh, I ain't gonna play for you, then shit, somebody be like, you pick me.
Yeah.
Who is it? The Jets are the worst right now? They got the number one spot right now.
There's a gang of mofos.
There's a bad team.
I do agree. That's not good. Only the Jets ain't something you want to see on the horizon. That's the Jets or Jacksonville.
They get all the press, but those are two terribly run organizations. I know the Giants.
Yeah, they just like the Bengals. Yeah.
Them shits was a long time, or 3 Super Bowls. That shit was a long time ago at this point. That is a terribly run organization. So
this is the deal, though, in the NFL. You're going to go to a bad team. Joe Burrow went to Cincinnati. I'm sorry. This is the deal. Unless you can finagle. I mean, the only person that got away with it was old boy.
John Elway got away with it.
Yeah. So did Eli.
Eli got away with it.
The Giants, which is a bad team, but he got 2 Super Bowls out of them. So
that's true.
Right.
I don't know, man.
I started my first week of looking at mock drafts this week. So this week 7. That's terrible. I'm looking at mock drafts already. Allegedly, there's a game-changing whatever tackle at Oregon at left tackle. So you might as well go ahead and pencil him in. And then throw freaking Jonah Williams over to right tackle because the Bengals are, and I hate the idea of having to draft an offensive lineman that freaking early in the damn draft. I hate it, man. I know you want to take one early, but golly, there should be some defensive whatever. But then again, nobody plays defense in college, so I don't freaking know anymore. So whatever.
There's no defense. So good luck with that.
You know what? Them bringing Bobby Hart back will get you to go ahead and pull the trigger on that damn offensive tackle. I'm sorry. You can't have it.
Be careful what you wish for, because
starting that right tackle. I'm sorry, man.
He went out during that last drive, and that's a good segue into the third quarter, y'all. Bengals lose. 37.
We didn't miss him.
1-12-1 in one-score games. Once again, Baker Mayfield sucks. He does. He played well today. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he does.
Pass at the end. That was a great throw and catch by Peoples-Jones Drew or whatever the hell his name is. That was a great throw and catch. Leather Blanker, I don't think threw an incompletion in the second half. I think he was like 24 for 24, something crazy like that. And
it was a record.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that's cool. But I saw you last week against the Steelers, Baker Mayfield. It wasn't good. Not at all. They beat the shit out of you because they have a good defense. So, being good against the Bengals, again, is being the tallest midget. So, whatever, man.
The Steelers and Baltimore beat you like a rented goalie. And guess what? Both of them teams ain't going nowhere for the next couple of years. So they're going to keep beating on you.
Exactly. So, he becomes Montana in the second half, essentially.
That's fucked up.
Bengals were good the second half, or the first half. Couldn't stop anybody in the second half. I didn't see the scoring drives things or whatever for the second half. I'm pretty sure every time they had the ball, they scored. The Browns in the second half. Pretty sure. I didn't see any of them stop. What's a punt?
Second half.
It's not the Bengals either. So I don't remember seeing a punt from either one of them in the second half. So, it is what it is. But the Bengals defense just collapsed in the second half. Again, 2 weeks in a row. No sacks. Stop to save their lives. Third downs is like a freaking I don't even know, a free-for-all at this point. The one time that they did have an opportunity to get a sack in the third down where he throws an incompletion, freaking Carl Lawson's offsides in the neutral zone, and then they wind up getting the first down. It's just, you can't. Good teams or bad teams can't have like these things. You almost have to play the touch to win the damn game.
You have to be damn near perfect, and we were nowhere near close to perfect. It was awful. The defense couldn't stop shit.
Yeah. We after Burrow takes them down the field to score to get them up not that one, the before that one, their next to last drive. It's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So we turn back and switch to another game. And then shit, by the time that the score scroll thing came up, it was like, Bengals or Browns in the red zone. It's like, what? I just took a pass in the red zone. Like, what happened? What? They just couldn't stop anything or anybody. Like, it's just amazing. And again, we talked about this thing before. Who gets fired first? Somebody's getting fired at that bye after next week. Somebody's getting shit canned. It has to be the DC at this point. You don't think so? You don't think so, Sam?
It's going to be the DC. It's going to be the coordinator. As bad as they are, it'll be the defensive coordinator. I ain't saying that he's necessarily the only one to blame. There's a lot of people on their side of the ball that's to blame, but he's the easiest one to fire. They don't want to fire the head coach, obviously. He don't want to fire his offensive coordinator, obviously, and he's the only one that wants in there.
Well, he's the offensive coordinator.
And the defense is awful. Yeah, God, yeah. It's going to be the
Yeah, I think he's gonna get cramped. He's gonna get run probably at the break.
name. Al Golden is the linebacker coach.
They'll probably. Yeah, they'll probably bring him up. Hutch, it's just the easiest thing to do to fire the DC, especially after a thing like this where it falls apart at the end.
I mean, it would be if we were a quote unquote confident or competent team, somebody would have been fired maybe a couple of weeks ago, but we ain't. So everybody's gonna keep their job until the end of the year, and then that's when shit's gonna happen. That's
the end of the year.
I wish it was different.
Yeah, if they don't fire nobody at the bye, at the end of the year, just to make an illusion to the fans that they were trying to do something. Not.
Well, the fact that you have again the quarterback, it's going to keep people coming back because he's going to keep you in games. Like that's
exactly.
Again, the only game he didn't keep them in was that Ravens game. Every other game they were in. There's a strong possibility they could have won every single game except maybe the first Browns game because they were coming back from every single point in that game. But every other game, haven't they had a lead in every game except the freaking
the Ravens game? They didn't have a lead.
The Browns game and the Ravens, they've had a lead in all of those games.
They had a lead in the first Browns game too. They were up 3-0.
They had a lead in the fourth quarter. They had a lead in the fourth quarter in with San Diego. They had a lead in the fourth quarter with this game. They had a lead in the fourth quarter with Indianapolis. They've had lead in the last part of the game.
Eagles.
Yep, the Eagles. Too. What the hell?
They've been in
Jacksonville, of course.
Something. I mean, this is like when they fired that Terrell Austin or whatever. They were just like, man, let's run zero coverage against the Steelers with under like 10 seconds to go. What are you doing?
I forgot about that.
What are you doing?
God.
Bro, oh my God. Like, this is against Antonio Brown or Juju. I don't know who scored that touchdown, but like, let's just run zero coverage here. So, oh my God. So I don't know, Hodge. I hate the Browns so much. I don't hate them as much as I hate losing to them.
I used to hate the Browns like I used to hate that team up north, but they've been so whatever that I feel I almost got pity for them. Almost. Yeah. I hate the other
I ain't never pitied the Browns.
Nah. I hate the other two teams in our division more than I hate the Browns now. That's
I don't even hate
because they suck.
I don't hate the Ravens because I'm jealous of the fact that they're a professionally run organization. I don't hate them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They pull off a trade this week.
I admire them more than anything.
They pull off a trade this week and get defensive line help from that. I can't pronounce that African dude's name. That was traded from Jacksonville to Denver or to Minnesota, and they pull him back over here for like a fourth round pick, a fifth round pick. That dude, come on, man. Pick. Yeah. Professionally run organization.
He's gonna thrive there.
Help them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
they are the opposite of us. They are a well-run organization
with rings.
Yeah, exactly. With two of them. So what analysis do you have from the game, Sam, man? Other than my liver getting killed.
Joe Burrow is the real deal. We see it every week.
Don't jump ahead with that. That's fourth quarter. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fourth quarter. Damn, that's what I took from the game, though. We have no defense. We have no defense. Our coaching is as bad as it was last year, really part of this year. No solutions on this coaching staff. I have her intact right now. They're going to end up. I counted it up. I think it's going to be 3-13. Again, a one-game improvement from last year.
Yes. And one.
3-12-1. I'm sorry. That damn tie. That damn tie. Well, I don't know if that's going to save them or not. We've already discussed the front office and their lack of being good at much of anything. So they might bring his ass back again. That might be enough for them. That's how low the standards are. I think you got hope with Joe Burrow, but for right now, and some of the receivers, what's his name? You got
And your audio is crapping out
spot.
on
Yeah, there's a lot of holes. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Hutch, don't know what to tell you, Chief.
Hutch, but it feels like had this happened the way it was supposed to, like the Sean McVay era with the Rams, where you hire the young coach, but then you hire the experienced defensive coordinator to calm him down, that somebody that's been a head coach before, because it was supposed to be, who was the dude for the
Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, Jack. It was supposed to be Jack Del Rio, but
and he turned him down.
Some beef or whatever. No, I think it was Joe Burrow Zach Taylor was the one that didn't want him on the staff.
How stupid was that?
Submarine, which he would have, because Jack Del Rio is an asshole. But
must be right successful.
I think that would have probably, like, I don't think we're 1-12-1 in one score games if Jack Del Rio is our defensive coordinator. I don't believe that would be. So
I agree.
Does that happen, Hutch? Like, if you see this, coming up, because obviously the offense is making some version of strides, they run freaking Lou Amaruno or whatever, and then you wind up bringing in some veteran defensive coordinator who gets shit canned over the summer.
I mean, it sounds great. I hope that whoever that coordinator is, Zach Taylor, or better be thinking Game of Thrones, because that mofo is gonna knock you off.
Yeah. And I think that's what happened. I mean, that Lou Amaruno was not even the third choice, fourth choice. It was LeBron in Miami's press conference.
He was the fifth.
He
was the fifth choice.
Not six. I mean, like, that's really where we were. That's where we were. So, I mean, he's a jag. He was just a dude. And again, it seemed like they've gotten to a point early in the season where, like, okay, we were doing the freaking let them run between the 20s and the 20s on bend, don't break. Now people are just scoring. And, that's
over with.
Not going to work. Like, now we can stop the run, but people are scoring points regardless. I don't think freaking Hunt had 100 yards today.
He didn't, but we can't stop the run, though.
But they didn't stop him.
We didn't
They couldn't stop them doing anything.
Right, exactly.
No.
Yeah, they got, I mean, if you could get 20, 25 yards passing the ball, just pass it.
Fair.
Who the hell is the Higgins that don't play for us? That mofo came out of nowhere and got 50,
I've never seen him until today.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
I've never seen him until today.
Great catch. He has one catch that I wasn't sure it was a catch. Then he has this great catch to set up the pass before the damn touchdown. I mean, I'm like, man, who the hell is this dude?
Right. This is their what? I mean, OBJ go out. I mean, I was like, hey, we might have a chance and they bring in this fifth, sixth level dude from hell, and he goes for damn 80 yards.
It's bad.
Why does every other team get to do that but us? That is unbelievable, man.
True. By the way, we need to like, for real, we need to have this talk about why Alex Erickson is doing anything on this team, because we can't force nobody to punt. So why is this nigga even active every week?
Honestly, our kicking team. I almost believed that Fat Randy was gonna fuck up that extra point on him.
I did too.
I was like, go for two. Don't just fat fucker fuck up and be a 2-point game.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, he gonna miss the field goal and then they gonna leave
extra point.
If they would have had to won the game with Fat Randy, that's when he misses. That high level kicks from clutch.
The pressure wasn't there. I agree.
The pressure wasn't there.
Hutch, besides Joe Burrow, like I said, we're gonna get to that momentarily here. Any other highlights that you thought from the game, or even lowlights? Like AJ plays well again. Like, it's 2 weeks in a row that he's played really well.
AJ, wait a minute. I can't. I mean, AJ caught the ball, yes, but unfortunately, when we need a touchdown, someone pried the ball away.
Yes, he did drop it.
AJ through 7 healthy games has no touchdown.
Mm-hmm. except for the
That's bad. That's really
but
bad.
Yes, agreed. But he's not the person that he was like 3 weeks ago, where we were like, "Hey, man, get this dude a freaking wheelchair and a cane." So
we're not paying you $18 million to be the third best receiver on this team.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
he's gone next year then, right?
Yeah. That was that play. T. Higgins is a player. I guess I wasn't happy with that pick. I didn't think that was going to be a thing. That dude can flat out play, period.
He's
a player.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this too. And again, you can't do anything about it now because you've already done it. I think the Bengals offensively with the passing game are a better team with Gio than with Joe Mixon. Because
I was thinking that too.
He can pick up the blitz. He can swing out the
get something to drink on that shit. Wait a minute.
Bruh. Do you think that they throw that ball? No, do you think they throw that ball on fourth down to freaking Joe Mixon?
No.
If they did, he wouldn't have caught it.
No.
I thought that was the worst play ever.
It would have bounced off of him.
I did too.
Until he caught it.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I'm sitting there going, don't y'all gonna score too early. Don't score too early because you can't give the ball back.
That was my complaint. It was still 1:06 on the clock. I was like, that's too much time. They're gonna lose.
I was kind of hoping he did.
I mean, I wish I hadn't said it.
I was kind of hoping he didn't get in. I was like, let's run some clock. And because I was like, at a point
I was praying they would look. Yeah.
I was like, at a point you gotta be the Browns. Like, you know what? Let them score. Because they can't stop you, and give yourself some time to go down the field.
You know you can't stop it.
Let him score.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same thing happened to Penn State.
We were thinking the same thing.
I didn't like that call either.
Until he called it.
Well, the call I didn't really like from before they got the first down is where they went to the end zone, like after the 2-minute warning to AJ after the false start. So it's 1st and 15. And then they go to the end zone with AJ, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Not because of the fact that going to the end zone. I was like, but you need like yards. Like, this is 4-down territory. At that point, take a 5-yard, gain or whatever, and run some clock as opposed to stopping the clock. It's just. Can we give it up for Drew Sample today?
Drew Sample played average.
He played well.
At least he caught some balls now. Yes, he did. I don't know what he ended up with yards wise, but at least he was catching the damn ball.
The two Cleveland tight ends that don't have appendectomies did better than him.
Yeah, true. I think the Bengals had like 27 first downs today, something crazy like that, and he got a bunch of them. He played really well today, so I can't. We also got to give it up for. Billy Price and Fred Johnson.
That mother blanker had a holding call and a false start at the center.
Wait, I know I saw that, but who? 3 what?
Price had 2. Fred Johnson had 1 on a critical play, mind you, too. Yeah. So they both
with Burrow.
They both came in off the.
Yeah. I don't know. They weren't the disaster that they could have been. How about that?
You lost the game that you should have won.
Joe Burrow covered for him.
Right. You from the jaws of victory, you found defeat.
Yes. And so let's transition to Sandman said his name like Candyman. All right. So the fourth quarter here is Joe Burrow. He throws for 400 and some odd yards. I think one of the first rookies to throw for 400 yards in a game. Or something like that.
History.
I think he's got 5 300-yard games out of his 7 games at this point. Like, I mean, clearly he's not the problem. Okay, that's not the issue or whatever.
He's the solution.
Everything around him is a shit show at this point, but he's the solution. And you would think a rational thinking organization would be like, hey, we got something special here that we haven't had since Carson Palmer. We really need to do what we need to do to make sure that freaking works. And I hope that they understand that, but I'm not sure. The hand is raised.
He way better than Carson Palmer through 7 games.
Oh, I wasn't saying that. No. He is way better than Carson Palmer.
Right.
Oh.
Carson Palmer was the number 1 pick, but he was.
Yeah.
Carson was a pick machine.
Yeah. Right. No, at the end especially, but he is better than Carson Palmer is now. So for sure. But I mean, even today, like on the 3rd and 11 or whatever, near on the last drive, where he calls the audible and runs that freaking draw up the middle and gets 15 yards. And that wasn't a design draw. He read it, he saw it, it was like whoop. And he
audible to that.
Yeah, he sees the field. The touchdown to Boyd. I don't know how he got that ball in there. Andy Dalton would never got that ball in there.
On a 4th and 1, as a rookie, your game-winning should have been game-winning play, throwing it to Geno.
Yeah,
and
he's got a pair.
No coach.
He's got a pair,
rookie
man.
That kind of shit, unless he has a whole lot of confidence in him.
He has zero fear. None of this is too big for him. And again, like his trajectory is not going to be like, oh, this is my peak here at this Browns game that we lost 37-34. That's not the peak. Like,
no,
that's going to go screen here a little bit. I don't think we've seen anywhere close near to the best of this dude. And again, he's probably somebody, freaking Ohio born, Ohio bred. He's probably thinking, I'm gonna, I need to take my lumps or whatever. And he's going to be one of those dudes that in the offseason, he's going to go and throw a gazillion balls a day to get ready for next season. Like, that's just how he is. Like, he's just Ohio. But I'm watching this game.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to see what he's going to ask for and what he's going to get in 4 years.
I just don't think that's what worry about that 4 years from now. But as I've been saying, you need to do what you can before you need to pay this fool $200 million a year. You got to do it now. You can't do it once he gets through that rookie contract.
Exactly.
Additionally, he is old for a rookie. He's 23. He's not the rookie coming in that's 21, 22 years old. He's 23. So by the time he even gets to his rookie deal, he's almost going to be 30. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Like, stop fucking around and fix it.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot of free money or freed up money, I believe.
Oh, so much.
In about 6
months.
We
got a whole lot of defense coming off that defense now.
Oh, yeah. There's so much free money. And God bless the Bengals, because you know for a fact that when they cut if they don't trade Carlos or Geno or whatever, whenever that happens, they wrote them contracts where the salary cap ain't going to be, the dead money ain't going to be anything because the Bengals don't believe in dead money. So there's not going to be anything major there. They're going to just have free money to spend. But again, you got to fix so much at this point. And again, I don't know if a scheme would fix the defense, or you need an infusion of talent to fix it, or it's a combination of both. And it's probably that.
A scheme is a start, but ultimately you have to have talent.
The Bengals don't have a scheme on defense. It's like a 5-2-2. What the fuck is this?
They're not gonna. They play 2 linebackers because they don't have any more than 2 linebackers that can stay on the field at one time. And that is the fucking truth.
Yeah.
That's so fucking true. They suck. We can't fucking find a sack in a fucking sack shop. We have no sacks in 2 fucking games.
It's bad. This is bad.
Well, it ain't going in. They ain't getting none. They probably ain't getting one next week either. So,
well, they have an immobile quarterback next week, but they're not gonna. They're not gonna throw the ball next week because they're just gonna run Derrick Henry for 300 yards. But we'll get. So,
they lost too. So
and they lost.
Oh God!
I think
they losing that game.
I think when Palmer came up, and obviously we had to wait a year for him to see him. And then they had that first game. I remember it against the Jets or whatever, and at New York that they lost. But you were like, "Wow, I can see why this dude is good." And then over time, you were like, "Oh, okay, I can see whatever." I never had the optimism with Carson Palmer that I have with watching Joe Burrow. Like, I'm like, well, he's gonna figure that out. Like, you could always kind of tell, like when the week thick, you could always tell that Carson Palmer was gonna fold like a lawn chair. You could feel it. You could just feel it. He was Andy Dalton with a stronger arm when the situations got tight. Like, he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just knew. Like, it was like, well, I know he's got a strong arm, but he's gonna do something stupid here. Joe Burrow may do stupid. He threw an interception today too, and last week to end that game too. But like, you kind of chalk it up as a rookie mistake, whereas Carson Palmer was just like, and again, also one of those. Hey, I lead by example, people. I can't have my quarterback leading by example. I need you to be grabbing people by the neck and stepping on them.
I saw when that last or next to last penalty, I think it was on Price. When he for that false start,
he was pissed.
He was pissed. Oh, he was hot. He's like, "What the fuck, you
pissed.
fat ass?"
Yeah.
That's why I left Ohio State because of you.
Yeah, he was pissed. Yeah. He was definitely like, "Come on, man," but not "Come on, man."
Yeah.
He was definitely.
Yeah, he
upset.
yelled at him. So, he yelled.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's Carson Palmer was never like, well, golly gee willikers, like, and Danny Dalton, God, we got to pray about it. No, he was like, what the hell, man? What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? And we need more Dan Marino than freaking Andy Dalton at this point. Like, we need you to be getting on people to make sure. Because guess what? When you yell at people, they tend to do things right. And the ones that can't, you need to get the hell out of there.
With this team, shit, it might be like, hey, you need a sack? Olay! Go get that mofo.
And that's the Bobby Hart special.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if he's done or whatever. But yeah, Burrow gets 3 touchdowns today. Yeah. 4 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns together, but 3 throwing, 1 pick.
400 yards. Over 400 yards.
Over 400 yards. What has he got? What is he, 16 touchdowns on the season? Something like that?
I don't know what it is.
It's like at least 12.
12, 13. I mean, he's good. Like, that's Joe Burrow.
He's good.
And I don't think he's somebody. I mean, I was kind of like, when they were on the sidelines, I was hoping that he was going to go to the defense. Like, go make a play so we can win this damn game. And I saw him dapping up everybody on offense. But, the defense or whatever, and then at the end of the game, you see Carlos acting the fool. But, Joe Burrow ain't the problem. Next week, the Titans, golly, I mean, the Steelers got offensive weapons everywhere, so that's not the issue. But it's not like they're going to be like, oh, we can't score against the Titans next week. That's not going to happen. They're going to score points, but they're not going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. They ain't
going to be able to stop nobody. It'll be a repeat this week.
It's going to be one of those situations where the Bengals can score. I don't want to say at will, but they'll be able to score. The Titans will be able to score, and it'll, because they have to run the ball, it's going to take the clock down. It's going to be one of those games where we get to 1-13-1 again, where it's going to be a 1-score, 2-score game. And, the pattern is very clear that the Bengals will lose it. I mean, that's what it is. It's not.
But their coaching staff, whatever, they got schemes, and they'll figure out a way to get past the whatever this picket fence we got, and they'll get some sacks and some turnovers.
But he'll overcome it. He'll overcome it to get points. I mean, at this point in time, there's no situation where you're like, the Bengals are like, what, they scored 16 in his first game or whatever, or 13. That's going to happen again. They're not going to do what the Ravens did. That's not going to happen. Trust me, by the time they play the Ravens again, he'll be a lot better. By the time they play the Steelers again, when he's going to get freaking chased and run and sacked and, chased, all over the place, he's going to, look bad. But when they play him again, he'll be fine. No, not fine. He'll be better. He's going to learn from every situation. So, I mean, even today, I'm like, he's getting rid of the ball or running when it's not there. Like, oh, that's progress from him holding the ball.
Oh, he's learned.
Well, yeah.
Getting hit 18 times a game is kind of taught him.
Yeah. But he's still standing in there. It's not like he's got them freaking happy feet yet. So, hopefully he doesn't get them.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. Whatever, man. Like, he's good. That's basically it. All I had there. All right. Let's get into the tunnel. Look ahead to next week.
Again? Fuck.
We talk about that. So we're gonna wind up getting to 1-6-1 at the bye, and then you get the 2 weeks off before the Steeler game, which yipes, that's gonna be bad too. So you're probably looking at 1 before the schedule starts to turn a little bit, like because I think after the Steelers game they play like the Giants or the Cowboys or something like terrible. The Giants, yeah, some terrible team.
The rest of the schedule
it gets a lot softer.
Yeah, they played it. Yeah.
And the Giants and the Fort or the Washington team like back to back.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Show me.
Yeah.
So, but it gets soft, like real, like after that Steelers game. Hey, come on, Sarah. Show me the Bengals game schedule. Or not. So, yeah. Hold on. Come on, Bengals schedule.
And not that it matters officially.
I mean, not in theory.
We can say, you know, the schedule does get softer, quote unquote, but them teams is like, we need a win, and the Bengals are going to be that team.
We need a dub.
Right. We need a dub.
So can't stop the run.
It's Titans.
They can't stop the run. Let's run the ball.
Titans by Steelers, and then Washington football team, Giants, Dolphins. That'll be the Tua Bowl at that point. Cowboys, and Texans, who have turned into, I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah, they fell apart.
They completely fell apart. So wow,
us.
There's probably a couple of dubs in there, but again, maybe they're not because the Bengals won't be able to stop anybody, and you go 1-14-1.
Yeah,
you can't bring Zach Taylor back at 1 win. You can't do it. That's worse than last year.
And 1-14-1. Yeah, you should be like, okay, if you're gonna fire me anyway, so I quit.
Yeah. And I brought this up on our text team.
None of them teams on the rest of that list, then your ass got to go.
And I brought this up on the text chain yesterday, and I said to y'all, what if, and again, we're just playing hypotheticals here, what if Zach Taylor gets run, which, again, 1-14-1 will get him run. If they go Zim, because Zim's going to get run too. Mike Zimmer's definitely getting run in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's definitely done. If they go Zimmer, head coach, and then blast from the pass, because you always go back.
Don't say, damn it, I'm running out of alcohol.
Yeah, and then they go Hugh Jackson for the OC.
That is the most Bengal plan ever. They would love to do that.
But
Hugh Jackson. Okay, is it my turn?
Go ahead.
Hands raised.
Anyway, Hugh Jackson might have been the only mofo in the universe that was right on Baker Mayfield.
Man, he tried.
Right. Yeah. But unfortunately, he is not ready for the 21st century quarterback.
Now, I do agree with that. Like, he is old.
That might be true.
As well as, and you run that issue of running and bringing Zim back too, because he's really just white Marvin, and he's super conservative. He doesn't want to do any of those things either. Like, you're bringing somebody in that doesn't have like a pulse on what's popping, as children would say, in the NFL point. And so you do run that course, but the Brown family and the Bengals are very comfortable with comfortable, and
mediocrity
brings them back. Or Zim got to be 70? Shit, I mean, he got to be
at least
years old. You got to bring in a 70-year-old head coach? Doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if they're like, oh, we're gonna bring him back to be the DC, now I'm freaking jumping up and down because Zim's gonna have the defense ready to play. But
why would he take? Why would he be?
What would he take
whatever
that, bro?
Zim after he gets run out of Minnesota, I think he's done.
Well, but coach,
he might be. He might be done.
Yeah. Well, he's coach's coach. He don't have anything else to do. And again, look at the head openings that are going to be coming up. Are you taking that job? You want that Falcon job?
Nope. I don't want the Falcons
Jackson,
job.
you want that Jacksonville job?
Jets job.
But that
Nobody
Jets
wants the
job,
Jacksonville job.
Giants job, you want them job?
But the Bengal job ain't on the top of the list either.
Yeah,
I would tell you,
that's
I
still
would normally agree with you until you see
pretty
number
at the bottom of the list.
Nope, until you see number 9. Then you're like, because that's I think we're completely out of. But that's why we're completely. If we were going to hire Eric Bieniemy, it should have happened 2 years ago. Because you can't bring in another coach with no experience at this point. You can't.
I mean, the Falcons are test running Raheem Morris, and he ain't ready for prime time either.
No,
can't coach.
No.
So, but I mean,
I don't know who do you bring in then.
This is the worst of the worst. We have a whole bunch of bad openings, and we got a whole bunch of bad choices.
Yeah, you take the one that's But again, Falcons don't have a franchise quarterback ever, but definitely not anymore. Giants don't have
anymore.
Jets don't have a quarterback. They both have the potential to draft one. Jacksonville don't have a quarterback. Again, all the potential to draft one, but they don't have one. So if I'm Eric Bieniemy and I'm looking back at that situation, I'm like, well, I know they got a quarterback, but again, Cincinnati can't hire him. They are not going to hire a coach with no experience. Hell, he hasn't even called plays. You can't.
At least he's been an offensive coordinator. I mean,
but he's not calling the plays. That's the issue. I think, well, him being black is the issue, but he doesn't call the plays there. That's the issue. He doesn't call the plays, so they're not going to give they're not. The Bengals can't hire somebody else that hadn't had any head coaching experience. They can't do it.
After all the trouble they're having with Taylor, it's going to swing the other way.
You just keep Zach Taylor at that point. Yep. You can bring Marvin back, Hodge.
For what? Marvin,
can you imagine?
Marvin's probably living his best life right about now.
Probably.
Oh, he laughing his ass off.
He definitely probably his ass off today. Yeah, probably. And probably. I tried to tell y'all, but I mean, you can't bring Marvin back with young players either because he's
right. There's the young coaches. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 coaches that are worth of yams, and the rest of them are just blah, 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 blah. And like I said, the game is going so fast now that I mean, you have to. It's crazy.
Here's my wish. And y'all think about this in your heads before I say this about who's your wish list coach. Like if somebody was there, and my wish list coach is the dude in New Orleans because they're not very good this year. They might make the playoffs, they maybe don't. Drew Brees is going to retire. What's it, Sean? What's his name? Sean Payton. If Sean Payton would be like, if Sean Payton winds up available, he's probably going to wind up with the Cowboys because that's what Jerry Jones has been wanting for years. But if he became available, literally back up the Brinks truck because he's going to turn Joe Burrow into Drew Brees. I'll take that.
But then you have the problem.
He can't coach it. And now he can't coach a defense to save his life, like at all. But we're gonna score some points. Hodge.
My number 1 would be Andy Reid.
Okay.
I take Andy Reid. Andy Reid
ain't available though.
Yeah, Andy Reid can do with coaches, and can also do with quarterbacks. I like the people he made money for. I'll take him.
Okay, Sandman, you got a wish list, coach?
Oh man, a wish list coach. It would be McVay, in LA. But I mean, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a wish list. Damn it! Don't take away our wishes.
Oh my God, man! Look what he's doing with Goff.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah,
Goff sucks. So
Goff ain't nobody. Okay. Goff is like an Andy Dalton.
It's an insult to Andy Dalton at this point. Shouts out to Andy Dalton.
That was terrible. Look he took. That was terrible.
I'm not trying to laugh. But he got blew all the way up. Like that game in however many weeks it is against the Cowboys, he ain't playing.
He may not be in it. Yeah. He might
Oh,
start.
he's not playing in that game. That's a concussion that takes you out for the season. What's that dude that played the tight end for the Bengals that got them concussions and never became a Christian singer? What was his name? Oh, damn. Come on, y'all. Help me out. We signed him from
UTEC?
huh? Yes,
Ben
Ben.
UTEC?
Yeah. He was like, he got some concussions and was like, well, I'm going to sing about Jesus now. I ain't playing no more. Get it. So that was a UTEC concussion. He ain't playing. He got the helmet off. I mean, how many people get the cart for concussions? Come on, son.
And he knocked his helmet off with his helmet in the hit. It was so
His
bad.
head was still in the helmet, and they glued it back on.
We're not laughing at you, Delton. We're laughing with you, but you're probably not laughing right now.
That's so terrible. We laughing at this.
Yeah, it's bad. That I'm talking about somebody that might be a one and done coach. Mike McCarthy's probably a one and done. They paid a lot of players, whatever.
It ain't working out.
He's a one and done probably. And again, how many years did he have freaking Aaron Rodgers and went to one Super Bowl?
8 or 9 for sure.
Exactly. No, I don't think so. So let's swing it around the AFC.
A long time.
Yeah, we know what the Browns did. They moved to 5-2 or 3 today. 5-2.
5-2.
Steelers win.
I think it's 5-2.
7-0 or 6-0. 6-0.
Undefeated.
The Titans and the Ravens are on the bye. So next week the Steelers play the Ravens. That's and it's a 1:00 start. I don't know how that's not Sunday Night Football.
That's strange.
If somebody catches COVID, who knows?
Yeah, so that's going to be a real beat up game or whatever.
Oh,
who the Browns play next week? They probably got a soft part of the schedule too. They probably get one of the NFC least. That'd be my guess. Or the Dolphins or something like that. Who the Browns play next? Anyone?
Aren't the Browns are they on a bye? Wait a minute.
The Raiders, where?
The Raiders.
In Cleveland. So the Raiders suck. So
yeah, the Raiders. They can beat the Raiders.
They have an easy schedule. Well, again, the Bengals, after that, Texans, Eagles, Jags.
Damn.
Yeah, they have a soft. We do too.
They got no excuses.
Yeah, we have a soft schedule too. It's just that we can't win. Look.
We can't win. We got no defense.
One-score games. Jags. One-score game. Browns first time. One-score game.
One-score game. Yeah.
Colts. One-score game. Browns again.
Yep.
One-score game. You split that, and you're a 500 team. You're 500.
You think they would take to be a 500 team now? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. They would be doing backflips if they were 500.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Ugh, again, I hate that I let the Bengals back into my life. I really do. It's just so annoying, man. It's like taking back. She's gonna be different this time. Bitch, stop sucking dicks. Anyway, all right. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with this, and it is what it is. So again, next week, maybe we'll see you, maybe we don't. A win, we'll definitely probably see you. A dub. It's Pat.
There are no guarantees at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it. So we'll start to wrap this up. Hutch, we need extra music. Man.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch. I think probably the best song would be
oh boy,
Heartbreak Hotel by Michael Jackson.
By Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Why the Michael Jackson version?
Because
I ain't heard that in a while.
Because it ain't that other motherfucker who's a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me.
Okay.
Hey, that would make a good lyric. That would make a good song.
You got any other choices?
My other choices, my mind's playing tricks on me by the Ghetto Boys.
Ah, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Fits the Halloween.
Well, so does Heartbreak Hotel
yeah.
So
those good songs.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll go with Michael Jackson then. I'm just not a huge fan. Not a
You live forever. It's unique.
Different podcast. Anyway, all right. So as Michael Jackson starts to play us out, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, I am the producer of this podcast. Remember, you can find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Just search Brothers Comics. Put that in there. You'll be able to see that. If you're a fan of comic books, comic book movies, and other stuff like that, you'll be able to find some other stuff that we do. And again, I am signing off. Sandman, go ahead and sign off.
All right, Bengal fans, try to keep your head up. We at least got a quarterback. Most teams can't even say that.
Yeah, that is literally half the battle. So yeah, keep your head up. Tupac style. Punch, don't be fired.
We got a quarterback until he gets cranked.
Don't do that, Hutch. Yeah. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, it's you know what? All right. Michael Jackson's playing us out. Y'all be good. We'll see you next week, maybe. Peace.
Peace.